Welcome friends. If you refer to the previous numerical, that was winter 2018 numerical, this was the numerical we have seen. This was the numerical we have seen. We have calculated the first two steps, that is degree of kinematic indeterminacy, and we have calculated the fixed end moment matrix for the structure minus 23.03, minus 11.11 and minus 22.22. Now let's proceed further to calculate the stiffness matrix for the structure. Now to calculate stiffness matrix for the structure, we know we have to apply unit deflection at coordinate 1. So I am applying unit deflection at coordinate 1. If you remember, my coordinate 1 was theta b. At coordinate 1, that is theta b is equal to unity. If you remember, my theta b was my coordinate 1 and it was in anti-clockwise direction. So I am again drawing the structure. Okay, A B C D E, A B C D E, and I am applying unit deflection at coordinate 1, and it is anti-clockwise deflection. So I am applying unit deflection at coordinate 1. Since B is connected by BA and BC, both of these members will be affected. This is theta B, that is equal to 1. This is theta b, that is rotation of the tangent with respect to the original tangent. So theta b equal to 1, theta b equal to 1. So theta b equal to 1, theta b equal to 1. I am applying unit deflection at coordinate 1. Why unit deflection? Because the definition of stiffness says forces acting at the coordinate due to unit deflection. That is why I have provided unit deflection. So what are the various forces that will be generated at B? Now since B is connected by BA and BC, the first force that will be generated in BE is 4 EI upon L, that is 4. For BA, I am writing the force for BA. 4 EI upon L, that is 4. At A, it will be 2 EI upon L, that is 4. This is the effect of the forces in portion AB. There will be two more reactions also, but I am not going to consider those reactions because I don't have any coordinates in the direction of the reactions at present. I have coordinates in the direction of the moment. Now, what are the moments generated due to this theta b equal to 1 in the portion BC? Again, an anti-clockwise moment of 4 EI upon L. Again, theta's BC length is 4, so 4 EI by 4, and at C it is 2 EI by 4. Again, I will repeat, there will be set of reactions, but I am not going to consider those reactions because there is no coordinate corresponding to those reactions. That is why I will not consider this. So these are the moments that will be generated due to the unit deflection at coordinate 1, that is theta b equal to 1. And since B is connected to BA and BC, there will be moments in the portion BA, there will be moments in the portion BC. There will also be reactions which are not considered because there is no coordinate corresponding to reaction. So I will generate the first column of stiffness matrix K11, that is force at coordinate 1 due to unit deflection at coordinate 1. My coordinate 1, if you remember, my coordinate 1 is theta b, that is anti-clockwise at B. So my Fk11 is equal to this 4 EI upon 4 in the portion BA plus 4 EI upon 4, both are anti-clockwise, that is both are corresponding to the direction of the coordinate. At the same time, both are acting at B. This moment is acting at B, this is the moment acting at B, both are in anti-clockwise direction, and my coordinate also is in anti-clockwise direction. That's why both are plus. So that is 2 EI. If I solve it, K11 is equal to 2 EI. Now, what is K21? Force at coordinate 2 due to unit deflection at coordinate 1. This is the diagram of unit deflection at coordinate 1. Coordinate 2 is anti-clockwise deflection at C. So what is the anti-clockwise force at C? It is 2 EI by 4, that is 0.5 EI. And last one, K31, force at coordinate 3 due to unit deflection at coordinate 1. Coordinate 3 is anti-clockwise rotation at E. There is no force generated at E because B is not connected to E directly. So K31 is equal to 0. I have generated the first column of stiffness matrix K11, K21, K31 by applying unit deflection at coordinate 1, that is theta b equal to 1. Now it is the time to apply unit deflection at coordinate 2 to generate the second column of stiffness matrix. So applying unit deflection at coordinate 2. Applying unit deflection at coordinate 2. Coordinate 2 is theta c. So theta c is equal to 1. Theta c. Why unity? Because our stiffness says the forces generated by unit deflection is our stiffness. So I am generating stiffness coefficients. So I must apply unit deflection. I am again drawing the structure. This is A, B, C, D, E. I am applying unit deflection. C member is connected by CB, CD and CE. So all the three members will get affected. So I am applying unit deflection. The diagram, deflected shape of CB will be like this, because the deflection theta c will be unity. It is in anti-clockwise direction. Deflected shape of CD will be like this, because the tangent will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Deflected shape of CE will be like this, because the tangent will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. All this theta c is equal to 1. So I have applied theta c is equal to 1. I have applied unit deflection at C. This is the diagram of unit deflection at C. Now let us consider one by one what are the effects of these unit deflections. What will be the moments generated, what will be the forces generated due to unit deflection. The first force in the portion CB will be in this direction. Since it is anti-clockwise, the force also will be anti-clockwise. I hope you remember those 8 diagrams, 4 diagrams for rotational stiffness, 4 diagrams for translational stiffness that we have discussed in the second lecture in the beginning of the semester. So 4 EI by L is 4, so 4 EI by 4 in the portion CB, and half of it will be 2 EI by 4 at B. 4 EI by 4 at C and 2 EI by 4 at B for the portion CB. 4 EI by L, that is the moment generated, that is the portion, that will be the moments. I repeat that there will be forces, there will be reactions, but we are not going to consider those reactions because there is no coordinate corresponding to the reaction. Now to talk about portion CD, there will be a moment of 4 EI. Now the length of CD is 3, so 4 EI by 3 in the portion CD at C, and at D it will be 2 EI by 3. That will be the moment in the portion at joint D. So at joint C it is 4 EI by 3, and at joint D it is 2 EI by 3. So again there will be reactions which we are going to get ignored. Now for the portion CE, again it is 4 EI. EI is constant, EI is EI, and length of CE is 3. So for the portion CE it is 4 EI by 3, and at E it is 2 EI by 3. So this is the moment, this is the effect of the unit deflection at coordinate 2. When we apply unit deflection at theta c, coordinate 2, this is the effect. Now I am going to write the second column of stiffness matrix, K12. What is K12? Force at coordinate 1 due to unit deflection at coordinate 2. My coordinate 2 is anticlockwise coordinate at B. Anticlockwise coordinate at B. So that is, what is the force? 2 EI upon 4. Since it is anticlockwise and assumed coordinate is anticlockwise, I have taken the value as positive 0.5 EI. So K12 is 0.5 EI. What is K22? K22 is force at coordinate 2 due to unit deflection at coordinate 2. So that comes out to be, what are the various forces at coordinate 2? My coordinate 2 is anticlockwise rotation at C. So my first force is 4 EI by 4 plus 4 EI by 3 in the portion CD plus 4 EI by 3 in the portion CE. Friends, all these forces, all these moments are generated at C. Theta C is at C and theta C is anticlockwise, and all these forces are anticlockwise. That is why I have considered all of them as positive. If I add this, K22 is equal to 3.67 EI. If I add it, it is 3.67 EI. And last, K32, force at coordinate 3 due to unit deflection at coordinate 2. This is the diagram of unit deflection at coordinate 2. Where is coordinate 3? Coordinate 3 is at E. It is anticlockwise. So what is the anticlockwise force at the coordinate? 2 EI by 3. Since assumed direction is anticlockwise and force generated is also anticlockwise, it is positive. So that is 0.67 EI. So I have generated the second column of stiffness matrix, K12, K22 and K32. This is the second column of stiffness matrix. That is what I have generated, K12, K22, K32. Now last, applying unit deflection at coordinate 3. That is, to generate the third column of stiffness matrix, I need to applying unit deflection at coordinate 3. By applying unit deflection at coordinate 3, I am generating the third column of stiffness matrix, coordinate 3 is at C, and I'm applying unit deflection. Now C is connected by only one member. Coordinate 3 is at E, and I am applying unit deflection at E. E is connected by only one member, CE, so only one member will get affected. This is the unit deflection. Theta E is equal to 1. Unit deflection at coordinate 3 is theta E. Theta E is equal to 1. So theta E, I have applied anticlockwise deflection. So anticlockwise rotation of the tangent will take place at E. So theta E is equal to 1. Now what are the various forces that will be generated due to theta E is equal to 1? Now since this is the deflection, at this end there will be 4 EI upon L is 3, and at this end it will be 2 EI upon L, that is 3, and no other force. There will be two more set of reactions which we are going to ignore since there is no corresponding coordinate at our disposal. Now what is K13? I am generating the third column of stiffness matrix. Where is coordinate 1? My coordinate 1 is rotation at B. This is B, A, C, D, and this is E. There is no rotation acting at B, so K13 is equal to 0. What is K23? Deflection, force at coordinate 2 due to unit deflection at coordinate 3. This is the diagram of unit deflection at coordinate 3. Coordinate 2 is rotation at C. What is the rotation at C? Rotational force at C, 2 EI by 3. Since the assumed rotation is anticlockwise and force is also anticlockwise, I am writing it as positive, that is 0.67 EI, K23, and K33, it is the force at coordinate 3 due to unit deflection at coordinate 3. This is the diagram of unit deflection at coordinate 3, that is 4 EI by 3, that is equal to 1.33 EI. So friends, we have generated all the columns of stiffness matrix using our basic principle in direct stiffness method. Now let me write the stiffness matrix for the structure. K is equal to, if I take EI common, now my K11 was 2 EI, my K12 was 0.5 EI, my K13 was 0. 0.5 EI, K13 was 0. Now second column of stiffness matrix, K12 was 0.5 EI, K22 was 3.67 EI, and K32 was 0.67 EI. Now my third column of stiffness matrix, K13 was 0, K23 was 0.67 EI, and K33 was 1.33 EI. Now my friends, let us check whether this stiffness matrix is correct. Yes, all the diagonal elements must be positive. It should satisfy all the conditions of the stiffness matrix. All the diagonal elements of the stiffness matrix must be positive, and other elements should be symmetrical. So this is symmetrical. This means whatever we have calculated is correct. So K matrix for the structure is EI into this. So in our next discussion, we will stop for now. In our next discussion, we will discuss the writing of equilibrium equation, and we will discuss how to solve this completely by stiffness method.